On today's show, it's the start of season 2 for our Ring of Honor. We're each going to draft our top 4 moments from last season. This is Locked On Sens.
I'm Jake Sanderson.
I'm Tim Stützle, and you're listening to the Locked On Senators podcast.
You're Locked On Senators, your daily podcast on the Ottawa Senators. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome. You are locked on to the Ottawa Senators, the only daily podcast covering the Sens. I'm Ross Levitan. On the outskirts of enemy territory, Pilsy and Martian will be by in just a minute. First, got to tell you, today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more. I know the sports aren't sportsing like we like them to in the summer. However, all summer long, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a boost or a bonus daily. That's right. There's something for everyone every day, all summer long. Just make sure to visit FanDuel.com to get started. You can also follow the show on social media. We're at Sens Central on Twitter. You can find us everywhere you get podcasts, including on YouTube. Today is Friday, August 16th, and let's get to the Ring of Honor. All right, a long time coming. We're back with a Ring of Honor. Last summer, we got 10 episodes. It was contentious. It went down to the wire, and our guy at Lalim's Martian came out victorious. He's with us again to kick off this season. We're doing it a little bit different. It's going to be every Friday on Locked On Sens. We're going to have a variety of citizens joining us, but of course, we had to start it off with how we ended last season. The champion, Martian. How's your summer going? It's been a little while.
It has, boys. It's going great. I'm having a really fun summer. You know, it's been busy. Getting a little golf in. The weather's been great. I'm just running around the city. It's been a good time for sure.
Have you been getting any cat fights on the streets?
Not yet, but I'm looking forward to a little bit of a rivalry with Sparta Cat. I know a little tongue in cheek there. Obviously, we love Sparty, but at the same time, you know, a little bit of mixing things up, maybe not the worst idea. So, Sparty, if you're listening, buddy, I'm coming for you, baby. And so are the streets.
Okay, well, we'll keep our eye on that.
It's good. We're just asking questions, starting conversations. How's everybody feel about Sparty? We hadn't done a feeler for Sparty in a while. For the record, Ross and I are on Team Sparty, so you're out on that one, Martian. But we'll get back to that. We'll figure that out. Also, you've been able to still break some news in a light summer. So how have the streets been lately? Are the streets still whispering to you? Is there anything going on, or where are we at with that?
Yeah, you know, it's hard to predict the streets, Pilsy. They just they come to me when things happen. It just starts coming in waves. So I really have no control over it. Nobody does. It's out of control. And when things are going on, there's really nothing we can do to stop it. So I'll just continue to keep my finger on the pulse of the streets here, Pills. But for now, all's pretty quiet at the moment. At this very moment, it could change with one phone call, Pilsy.
It's true.
Well, Martian, it's great to see you back on the pod. Last time we saw you was live and in person. We were both boots on the ground for the Senators' final home game of the season against the Montreal Canadiens. Cole Caulfield overskates his shootout attempt, and that was all she wrote. Senators get the win, and now we'll be looking back at more happier moments as we're doing the Ring of Honor for the top moments from the 2023-24 season. But as every NHL season begins, it's a banner-raising ceremony. And Martian, you've earned this trophy icon next to your name after being victorious. And this is a fan vote, right? At Sens Central, we put this up, and we won it fair and square last year. So the inaugural Ring of Honor champion, Lalim's Martian, good stuff. And one of those that you won happened to be the top moments from the 22-23 season. So with that, I think it's only right that you select the order for how we're going to do today's selection.
He gets to pick the order?
Wow, see, you bowed out, Ross. Fair. I was fully expecting to have to scrap for that title, especially when Pilsy, we had a little pre-chat before this episode, and Pilsy said that he thinks he should get to select the order.
I didn't, no, he won the last set one. The record straight. Hey, Lalim's Martian said last season, whoever won the last week's Ring of Honor gets to pick the order. Technically, I did win the season finale of last Ring of Honor, so I've won the last Ring of Honor. So aren't I holding the bag here?
I can't even entertain that idea. I won the overall. It's over. I'm the champ. I'm the winner. Therefore, honestly, I get to select the order.
You know what? That I respect that, and that's fine. I have more of a problem with Ross tweeting out the topic for our Ring of Honor and farming replies and muddying the waters for what is the integrity, or I thought the integrity of Ring of Honor is all of us have to come up with our own lists and we duke it out draft style. But here Ross is being like, hey guys, I'm a little busy today. Do you mind doing my work for me and filling out my list for me? Like, I could, Martian, cut to you, snap it back to Martian. I couldn't believe when I saw that tweet was there.
This happened last year too, Pillsy. You did the same thing last year, and we put a stop to it. You and I both. Two versus one. We said you can't be tweeting out and asking people what the topic is. The fun part for us is seeing where each other blank and coming up with creative new ideas that aren't given to us on a cheat sheet in the replies of a tweet. Ross,
I'm addicted. I'm addicted to the content game. I love hearing everybody's opinions. You know, I love when you guys chime in with certain moments that maybe we would have forgot of. I don't want to feel anybody's moments are excluded. Everybody's top moments matter, and I just wanted people to allow an opportunity to express themselves.
And you can do that after the Ring of Honor.
That's what I've learned.
It's kind of funny when we miss obvious ones, when people are like, you guys cover the Sens daily and are you like guys the best guys.
The best back-to-backs of the season, Bills.
Yeah, like we are complete goofs. Like we're gonna miss completely obvious things, and that's objectively hilarious for people that cover this team. So that's the way it's got to be, at least moving forward. We'll forgive you on this one.
No, I don't need a breakfast ball. How about this? At least one of my 4 has to be something that is not in the replies. We've got over 25 replies. Appreciate all the citizens sharing. It's not their fault, but I have to pick something that is not consistent with any of the replies.
Sure.
Is that okay with you, champ?
I think you should take away one of your first round picks.
No, we're not doing that.
No, we're not Gary
Bettman. Just
kidding,
here. Boys. You're easy.
Easy. That would be unprecedented or unparalleled. All right, what's the order, Martian?
Okay, well, I mean, the only way I can really kind of punish Ross here is making him go third. So, Pillsy, you're going to actually get first overall, and I'm taking the middle here. I'm going to go second. So that's the order I've decided on.
Okay, well, this works out because I wanted first overall. Famous last words.
And I also know I only have 11 things on my list, so I can't go first because that would mean that I'm going 12th as well. So
that's smart. That's smart.
That is smart. So here's the order. We've got, if you're watching on YouTube, the graphic, we'll update it as we go because there's going to obviously be 12 moments. And please let us know in the YouTube comments what we forgot, most importantly. And we're going to put the link where you can go vote on Twitter. The voting will start as this is released. So go have your vote on which 4 moments make up the best team. Pillsy, you are on the clock with the first overall pick.
Thank you very much. With the first pick of this offseason's Ring of Honor presented by the Locked On Senators podcast, I, Pillsy, will be selecting as the best moment of the Ottawa Senators 2023-2024 NHL season, the Ridley Gregg empty net slap shot goal against the Toronto Maple Leafs. I mean, I think you guys chime in, but this was the 1-1. I didn't mess this up. I feel like this was the obvious choice. I was hoping to get this choice because then at least I can look at my draft and be like, I nailed my first pick. Because if I was going to go third, I was going to get a little nervous there, Martian. So I thank you. Battle of Ontario in Ottawa. Ridley Gregg decides, hey, I'm going to stir things up. And he decides to take a slap shot into the empty net, making it 5-3. Leafs fans aren't happy. Leafs players aren't happy. Morgan Rielly loses his mind and attacks Ridley Gregg, but it's an all-time moment, and we heard it from Brady Tkachuk when we had him on the show. It's hilarious that Ridley Gregg was the guy to do that. So for me, when I think about last season, this is the immediate moment. Even people that weren't Leafs or Sens fans were talking about this, and it sparked the conversation of the unwritten rules of hockey. Leafs fans, if you're sad about it, don't get scored on an empty net.
And it also started a trend because we saw Abby Murphy, the standout women's star at Minnesota. She went and did it as well. And the reaction of Morgan Rielly is what makes it, right? Like the shoulder check on the breakaway. Ridley goes, how much space exactly do I have? I love it. It was number 2 on my list, but it's a great moment, so I'm not going to split hairs.
It was number 1 on my list. I'll give you credit for that, Pilsy. My theory there was actually, knowing you, I thought that maybe you wouldn't go in that direction because I know you like to stay on the safe side of things, Pilsy, unlike myself. So I thought you might have left that one there.
Okay, I thought that was the safe pick.
Yeah, it was a good pick. It was a good pick. I'll give you full credit for that. But yeah, like I said, the controversy plus Pilsy thing, I thought maybe you'd leave it there, possibly for me to take with my pick. But that being said, I do have a fine selection ready to go here. And for this one, we're going to Sweden, boys. Nice. And this is obviously probably the highlight of the season. I think it was voted by the Senators fans on the official Senators account as the best goal of the season. And that for me is the Tim Stützle overtime winner. And it was a out of the air walk-off home run against that was Reimer in that. So for me, I'm going with that one there. That to me was a staple signature. When I think of last season, I think of this goal because there wasn't many big highlights for us, boys. Let's be real here. It's going to be a grind going forward after these first 2 picks. But I'm taking the Stützle walk-off homer.
It was as electric as it gets. And to add it to the highlight reels was the fact there was no time left. They had to do a clock check to make sure the time hadn't expired in overtime. True. And we would have been off to a shootout. So that just added the element of, wait, did maybe the defender ease up because he saw time running down? Because it was kind of a broken play where Batherson was trying to drag it across.
Yeah, and one more thing on that too, Ross. It's a rivalry game. Let's be real here. I think Detroit, we look at them as one of our bigger rivals right now at the moment.
It's not the Battle of Ontario, but sure.
It's not the Battle of Ontario, Pilsy. We don't have that kind of history. But as of right now, Detroit fans are right up there with the fans I hate the most. So it was good to give them a good shot with that one. And obviously, that rivalry got a little hairier throughout the season. But that moment right there was a good one for Ottawa. So I'll take that one.
That's a good one. That was my number 2. So Ross, was that your number 1?
No, it was number.
Wow, 3. We gave Ross his first overall pick.
So we're all slotting where we want to be here.
And now, right now,
I can already tell.
Comment section on his tweet.
No, I can already. This is the one that was not on it. And if you guys get after me on this, I'm actually going to be rattled because it's a deserved pick. Just so we're clear. The NHL season starts when training camp opens, right? The day training camp opens.
Oh, we had to set these parameters.
No, the NHL season. That's when the NHL season starts.
The season starts at the puck drop of the first game. No
chance.
We should have discussed it. We had to. I had it in my head when you were going through who's going to be picking first when.
There's no chance.
The season begins. You can't be talking about the offseason moves, anything like that.
That's not. It's a move that happened when the
How about
season.
You give us the pick and me and Pilsy will.
Michael Andlauer taking possession of the Ottawa Senators and control of the organization. The press conference was September 23rd.
I'm on the fence on this one, not gonna lie.
It's season. That's not part of it.
It certainly was.
I just don't feel like it's a fit. It didn't even occur to me. That's in the summertime. That was the biggest, longest dragged out process we've ever seen. Ross, the
announcement was made with Gary Bettman. Do you think that Gary Bettman in late September would be doing a press conference that didn't have to do with the NHL season?
I'm so competitive that I want to fight you about this for the next 45 minutes.
I'm either putting Andlauer ownership or I'm putting Andlauer shaking hands when he shook hands after the home opener. So that is after the regular season started.
No,
what would you like me to do?
You know what? I will, at least personally, Martian, I know you're fired up about this. I will allow it.
No comment.
Okay, I'm keeping it. Andlauer ownership. Gonna give Martian a minute to stew over this one. We'll be back with more. You're listening to Locked On Senators, your team every day. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more and visit the #1 sportsbook for the Locked On Podcast Network. Look, we all love sports here. I love them so much, I never want them to end. The Olympics was a nice summer boost, but we know that it is fully baseball seasons. There's fewer games overall, but when the sports aren't sporting like I want them to, FanDuel lets me keep it going whenever I want. All I have to do is open the app and dream up bets anytime I'm in the mood. And this summer, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a boost or a bonus daily. That's right. There's something for everyone every day, all summer long. So head over to FanDuel.com and start making the most out of your summer. FanDuel is the official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. Just go visit them at FanDuel.com and you can look at all sorts of odds. I'm a big believer in fading starting pitchers. So when I see whether it's the Chicago White Sox, the Oakland Athletics, when they've got their 3, 4, 5 starters in, I'm all over it at FanDuel. So go check out all the lines, check out all the boosts and the bonuses, and you can do it over at FanDuel. FanDuel, it's the official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. Today's episode is also brought to you by our good friends over at Mary J's. Mary J's Dispensary is in Ottawa, in Orleans, South Riverside South, I should say, Greeley, Russell, and Coburg. It started out as a dream. It was just 4 friends getting together saying, how can we make our passion into a future? And they decided that they would do whatever it takes. They were sleeping on mattresses in their first store, really working hard to get it off the ground. Third liners, we'll call them, because they bring that grit, that passion, that perseverance that you need. Now, as a successful startup, you can also see them in Kingston, right by Queen's University. It's all about loyalty. And you can show it back by grabbing a loyalty card next time you visit Mary J's. Mary J's is all over getting the newest products, the best products, and how about a conversation about the Sens? Our guy Dashy, go say what up to him. He's always around, and he always wants to make sure that there's Sens talk going on at the store. Ask him about his favorite number 18. Yeah, he loves Timmy. This guy's old school, man. He was telling us how much he loved watching Mary and Hossa back in the day. So support local, support friends of the show, and Mary J's. Their flagship store is in Kingston. Go check out their loyalty cards, and you can also find them Riverside, South, Greeley, Orleans, among other spots. So go check them out. Mary J's Dispensary, official partner with Locked On Senators. All right, welcome back to the Ring of Honor. Already contentious through one round, and it's going to be a snake-style draft, if that's okay with Martian. Or would you like to just go ring around the rosy?
No, hey, Martian's complaint was fair, but that moment was more a part of this season than it was the season before. So I will allow it.
Yeah, but there's a gray period in between. Are we going to start talking about the Allmark trade as being something that's eligible for this draft as well? No.
I thought about it because it was before the end of the season. It was at the start of
loopholes.
Well,
Game 7.
I mean,
no spoilers, but
but that's literally called the post season.
True. Yeah.
So I don't know.
I didn't pick that.
Okay. So Ross picked a pick from the preseason.
I picked what set the tone.
What kind of games were they playing when Michael Eilenauer took over the team? What kind of games were they playing?
They were playing
preseason
games.
What does preseason mean to you?
It's a part of the season. It's part of the NHL season calendar.
It means
I think I have a bulletproof point here, Ross.
Okay, well, if you'd want, I will do it for the final time. Do you want Eilenauer ownership or Eilenauer handshakes?
No,
because him shaking hands with all the fans was awesome.
I just want to give you a hard time. That's all.
No, it's fair. It's fair both ways here. But that's the beauty of it. The citizens will decide. Like, some citizens will see that and be like, what is that pick? And then other people will be like, that's good. So,
okay.
All right.
Pick number 2. Walking into the CTC for the home opener.
I don't know if he's serious or not.
We talked
so
about
serious.
He's serious. Okay.
One of my rules going into this, we had like a chat beforehand, and I said we can't be picking full games as a moment. It has to be a moment. So this is Ross's yet again another loophole.
The moment that you walk through the tunnel and the rink opens up is the best moment of the season.
Such an oversight by you. You missed something very key.
Yeah, Martian, I'm going to allow this because I think he left a lot of value on the table.
Okay.
I'll allow it as
favorite moment.
Again,
And people that weren't there for the home opener, that's not relatable.
Okay, well, if you've ever been to a home opener or the last 3, because Sens have won 3 in a row,
Yes.
you know that walking in is friggin' awesome.
Yep, agreed.
It is always a great time.
So Ross has no hockey plays
I
as
think
both of his top 2 moments.
I think people that watched last season will appreciate that.
All right, Martian, you're up.
Okay, I'm surprised Ross didn't take this because this is one of his favorite players. But after his 41-game suspension, the return of Mr. Shane Pinto to the lineup. Game number 42. It's pretty obvious how much he means to this team, how important he is to this team, how much better they play with him in the lineup, what they do when he performs, when he puts up points. They have an incredible record when he does so. So just the return of Shane Pinto, I think just the relief generally amongst the fan base and it was a highlight of the season for us having him come back. So I'm going to go with something non-controversial because I like to play within the rules and not look for holes. Is
Everybody knows that about you.
You're going to have to cut that, bro.
Never been controversial.
I had that on my list. That's a good pick, Martian. Pilsy?
That's a good pick. I like it because, and again, shameless plug, but we talked to Brady about this Pinto coming back, and he was like, "Yeah, that was a major boost."
Did he say
the
that
mother's
was
trip
a great
too?
moment?
Yep.
Yeah, it was a great moment. But just so we know, no, I'm not going to say it. But yeah, the mother's trip was awesome. But that's multiple games, and Martian was very clear that he did not want a single game even. All right, Pilsy, you're up.
Yeah, you could, and I'm with Martian here. If you had said the mom's trip, I'd be like, "Whoa."
Yeah. No, we're not saying that.
Okay, good. Okay.
But I just don't want people to think Pinto's return was the whole mom's trip. It was just that one game.
Pinto's return. So the last 41 games of the season, Martian.
Huh? Yeah, you're really covering ground.
All right. I can't believe that I've got the value of these two, so that I'm in a great spot here. I will go with the Claude Giroux shootout slapshot winner up against Columbus. I mean, that was a sick moment. Even though I'm pretty sure I've gone on record as a goalie, I'm not a big fan of this shootout slapshot. But when Claude Giroux did it, it was sick. He's one of those players that can pull that off, and having done it before and then pulling it off again for the winner, nonetheless. Like, it's not like that was like the first shot of the shootout
in Columbus, though.
Yeah, but it was still a bit. I mean,
it's in Columbus.
All the Sens games were pretty much meaningless this season. So, like, there's not like other ones where you're going to be like, the moment was huge there. So, as far as a play and highlight goes, that was awesome. And that was fun to watch.
Yeah, that was fun.
Dying. That is so funny. Yeah, no, it's true, Pilsy. But I laugh at Ross, like, trying to knock your pick down immediately with the, like, it's Columbus.
I mean,
it would have been cooler if it was in Ottawa. I think we can admit to that. But yeah.
Well, when Giroux scored the first slap shot, it was in gameplay. So that was no doubt a better moment. They just killed a 5-on-3. Guys were exhausted. Hamonic was gassed. And then next thing you know, it's a breakaway slap shot. But the winner's still awesome. There's no doubt about it. It's a great pick, Pilsy. You know what, Pilsy? Your pick's so good. We're going to give you the next pick as well after a quick break. You're listening to Locked On Senators, your team every day. Today's episode is brought to you by eBay Motors. Passion, drive, and patience. That's the formula for winning championships. And also, it's what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whatever you're into, whether it's speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has got you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit is only available to U.S. customers. Welcome back to the Ring of Honor. We're halfway through the top moments from the Ottawa Senators 2023-24 season. There's been contention and a whole lot of great moments with more to come. So far, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see it. We'll go over the entirety of it for our audio listeners at the end of the show. Pilsy, your third pick.
Snake draft coming around to me. So that was my number 3 moment, and I'm about to get my number 4 moment. So I'm getting moments 1, 3, and 4 on my list. So this is going great for me, guys. My next moment is up against the Florida Panthers.
Bold.
167 total penalty minutes in that game. And the ref, after a full-out line brawl, the ref just goes, every player on the ice, 10-minute misconduct. I mean, that was one of those moments where just like, as a hockey fan, you're like, what? Did he just say just everybody gets a 10-minute misconduct? And it was just complete chaos. And then Brady, of course, is in the middle of all this. And it just showed the emotion of Sens fans being like, this is just a total gong show. Like, let's just blow this whole thing open and just start scrapping. And then the camera pans to Brady Tkachuk's grandma, and she's in the stands like, oh, what's happening here? This is out of control. But I don't know how you want to type this, Ross, but the moment I'm choosing is
Sends 5-0 loss to the Florida Panthers at home.
Nope. 10-minute misconducts all around. Like, I don't know how to shorten it, but
Pilsy, in typical fashion, you blew it with your third pick. Just a horrible pick. I don't know. The Sens lost that game horribly. It was on the road.
Fight-filled 5-0 loss to Florida. Is that fair?
The score has nothing to do with it. What's the score of Andlauer's ownership?
Yeah, but would you describe that as a great moment or the best? One of the best.
So Sanderson fighting Matthew Tkachuk, like, is that your moment?
No,
that would be a moment. Like, you can't say the whole period.
We'll give him ref kicks everybody out in Florida.
Ref kicks everyone out.
Yeah, sure. I'll accept that.
Ref tosses everyone after Florida brawl.
Yeah, look, you guys can say what you want, but like when that moment happened, I was like, this is a wild thing to happen. And it's not like there was other good things going on for the team at that point. And it was finally like the games up against Florida needed to boil over. And that was a boiling over point. So when I thought about moments from last year, that one came up for me right away. So maybe it's not a shining moment that you're like, oh, good times. But it was a moment that reflected how the season went. And it was just a crazy, yet again, another story where even people that didn't care about the Sens Panthers were following, and it was going all over TSN and everybody was retweeting that clip. So that's where I went with that.
Okay.
And
that's
very
your fourth favorite moment. Sorry, best. Just so everyone knows, this is the best moments, not most notable moments.
Sure. Yeah.
It was memorable, Pilsy. It was notable. I would say notable.
And it was early enough in the season that I was like rattled at that loss.
Yeah, I would say notable moments. That's probably in the top 4 Pills, but I don't know about best.
Okay. Martian, you're up.
Well, I can't say I'm not happy. I thought for sure Pilsy was going to take this. I think it's pretty obvious. And I was in Vegas at this time, December 18th. The Ottawa Senators lose. I believe it was 6-2, 6-3 to Vegas. On the road. And then what do? They fire their coach, DJ Smith. He's out. They bring in Jacques Martin, but who else do they bring in? Who else is standing behind the bench? Mr. Daniel Alfredsson.
That's my number. That was my number 5.
Wow, you put that behind?
Yeah.
Okay, well, putting Alfredsson
might come back around.
Like putting Daniel Alfredsson behind the Ottawa Senators bench was one of the best moments of the season. Surprised it's still sitting here for me at this spot. So I have to take it. I have no choice. Daniel Alfredsson behind the bench of the Ottawa Senators.
So Alfredsson becoming assistant coach?
Wait. Yeah, because those are two different things. He was behind the bench in Sweden.
True.
I forgot.
But he wasn't officially a coach. So which moment are you going
Just
for?
put Alfie behind the bench.
Okay, so you know you're leaving something on the table with that. I just want to be clear that you are choosing the moment of Alfredson becoming an assistant coach.
Well, what's the difference?
No,
between
I just want to be clear. That's what's going to be written down.
I don't
Well,
know
I
what
think
he's
we should
getting
make
at
sure
either,
our
Marshall.
moments are. We should make sure they're different, because you're going to pick something that's
We'll
so
see.
similar to that.
There's a chance, but maybe not.
No, that's a fine
It's a
pick,
good
yeah.
moment. No,
Just
it's a
put
good moment.
Alfredson joins bench. I would prefer
Ooh.
if you wrote it that way.
I don't know if it fits. This fits really well. Alfredson becomes assistant coach. People will get it. Like, that's when he like fully joined this. Like, he was on the staff before though.
I just know when you do this, you have influence with how you write it out. Alfredson joins.
I think
bench.
this is written out very favorably towards you, but it's up to you.
I think it's fair. Yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay, fine.
Okay. All right. I've got a few here, but a part of me wants to be funny guy as well. We are
like your first two
entertainment.
picks weren't?
No, those were actually the two best picks that have been made so far. There's a yin and yang aspect to what I will pick. The final buzzer at game 82. The season was just a disappointment, and there was a breath of fresh air that it was over and that we could move on. So my second best moment is walking into the CTC for the home opener, and then I'm going to follow it up with the final buzzer of game 82.
So you're just fully pandering to people that hated last season. Like, you're going all in on those
Why?
people.
My other two picks are two very happy moments.
You're just looking through the comments in your
Nope.
tweet, and you're seeing that was the
No,
most
I'm not.
common answer.
I don't even think there's a whole lot of likes, but hey, say what you want about my picks. I'm happy with them. Nobody had put the Anlauer one in the thing, and I don't even think people put walk into the CTC. So I'm actually doing this au natural, Martian.
All right.
Just so we're clear, you did, before we started this, say you're going to, what was the exact wording on that?
I'm either getting 100% or 1% of the vote.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. My fourth moment, it's the moment itself that was awesome. And I don't think I'm going to get any pushback on my fourth and final pick. The only problem is because it was called horribly, it actually may have caused the entire Sens season to burn down.
I didn't think anyone was going to pick this. Go ahead.
Ridley Gregg absolutely obliterating Alex DeBrincat in the first period of his return to Ottawa. Everybody wanted it to happen. There was the entire buildup, and then for him to come around with his head down, and for Ridley Gregg, of all people, to stand up and pop him with a very clean hit. But then Detroit scores right into the power play, and it kind of fell apart. But that
season
first period,
like that changed the entire tide of the
penalty
season.
did, not the hit.
Yeah, but the hit was called a penalty. The Sens were having one of the best periods of hockey I've ever seen them play. Like, it was nuts. And then that moment happened and everything just crumbled.
Wow. I was in the building for that. I was in the building for that game. And the DeBrincat chants were the boos on him every time he touched the puck it was as loud as you ever hear a boo. So everybody was on board with that. And obviously we wanted to see him get crushed, but
yes.
I just don't know.
Ridley Gregg doing it.
It was great.
Last two picks are both times the season was over for the Sens.
I didn't do that on
purpose. That game went downhill very quickly after that.
Grand opening, grand closing. My first two picks are the latter, and the final two former and then latter. All right, that's my draft. I'm feeling good about it. Martian, you're up.
Really? Okay. I'm surprised you're feeling that good about that.
I feel great.
I have two that I'm really torn between right now. And
I'm just the hardest.
I have one that you guys aren't going to pick, and I'm not going to pick either. It's going to be left for the honorable mentions at the end. Okay, so I think that one's savable. Guys, this is a tough one because it makes me sound like such a horrible person. We're going to go with November 1st. The Ottawa Senators fire Pierre Dorion. I think that it was a happy moment, I think, for a lot of us as fans. We've seen enough. We saw the mistakes, everything about that. I mean, the moment itself is not great. I hate to see a guy lose his job. Like, honestly, like, that's not great. That's not perfect. But as fans, I think that this is a bit of a pander pick too. It was kind of a good thing because, the Dadonov news had just come out after that, where the Sens had their first round pick taken away from them. Everybody was extremely upset about it. It was
kind of the same moment, to be honest with you, but
yeah,
kind of the same moment.
Yeah, why don't you just type in whatever you want, like you usually do, anyways, Ross? So.
I did. Pierre Dorion resigns. That's what he did. That was the official. He was not fired. He resigned.
No, you can't put that on the.
Whatever. No.
You're okay with that, Martian? Okay.
He's going factually here.
That's exactly what the press release said.
Maybe we say Pierre Dorion leaves organization. I guess that's
you really want a lot of characters in there, eh? You putting me to work?
Pierre Dorion
paper letter.
Pierre Dorion gone. Can we go with that? Because resigns makes it. Maybe I'm regretting this pick already. I don't know.
Well, you've made me regret my fourth pick a little bit too. So
good thing I'll never regret my final pick.
No, your third one was awful. It was the worst pick. It would still be on the board if you hadn't taken it.
100%.
That's fine.
Okay,
Am I changing the writing?
I'm going with it. That was for me. That was a good moment. But I don't love how you're twisting my words there. I mean, that's a generous way of putting it. We all know that he was technically shown the door. He just happened to walk out of
it. All right.
See, it doesn't fit.
What if you just put Pierre Dorion leaves?
But he didn't leave.
Just put gone. Just put Pierre Dorion
gone. Regardless of who.
People know he resigns. Pierre Dorion leaves team.
That makes me seem like such a jerk, but
resigns was right there. Okay, final pick.
I'm deciding between a couple. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna have 3 slapshot goals as my moments.
What?
In Sweden, the Swedish goaltender Anton Forsberg passes it up to Lalime Martian's favorite Ottawa Senators defenseman, Eric Brandstrom, and he clap bombs it home. I mean, that was a great moment also. Like, that was one, and the Swedish connection was great. Who would have thought Branny could have pulled that off of all people? The smile on that little boy's face was absolutely magical. It was like a Make-A-Wish Foundation dream come true for him to get to do that in that game. So the Branny breakaway slapshot goal.
It was a quality moment of the season for sure, Pils. Yeah, I'm not going to knock this one too hard. I've given Brandstrom a hard enough time, and we don't have to deal with that anymore. So we're gonna. But like that, yeah, that was a great goal. It was a great assist from Forsberg, and the whole Swedish thing, everything coming together. That just tells you there's hockey gods, boys. So I like it. I don't hate that.
Swedish connection, Forsberg Branny goal in Global Series.
Well, no, that's too many words.
Okay.
Yeah, we're fine with that, but we're not.
Branny slapshot goal in Sweden, SWE.
Okay, I'll figure it out here. Branny goal.
Also, we got slapshot as one word and slapshot hyphenated.
Oh, wow. Let's do it one word. Let's get rid of the hyphen. Less characters, the better.
Let's clean things up. Yeah. I think that's I'm as a 4th round pick, I'm comfortable with that.
People are gonna roast you for it.
That's what Ring of Honor is about. You certainly left yourself up to be roasted as well.
I think I did. You guys convinced me that the 4th pick, I maybe left a bit of talent on the board, but I'm pretty happy with what I ended up with. And as you can see here, if you're watching on YouTube, we've got it all. Pilsy's got the Ridley empty net slap shot against the Leafs, Giroux slap shot shootout winner, the ref tossing everybody after the Florida fight, and Branny slap shot goal in Sweden. Big slap shot guy. Martian's got Stutzla's walk-off home run, big baseball guy. Shane Pinto's return. Alfredson becoming assistant coach, and Pierre Dorion leaving the team.
So Martian's just people coming and going, essentially.
Yeah, I'm like
Martian just like some roster transaction.
Well, that leads me nicely to like my favorite honorable mention. Can I just throw it in there real quick, Ross?
Wait, we'll do the honorable mention after reading off all the picks.
It's another return though.
Okay.
And Lauer's official taking the reins of the organization, walking into the CTC for the home opener.
Technically before the season starts.
The final buzzer of the season's finally over.
The season is over at that point.
And then Ridley Gregg crushing Alex Brinkett after maybe the best period of hockey I've ever seen. First period. People who are at the game are voting for me. My first honorable mention, I was going to pick Tim Stützle's 1 power play goal.
I thought about it because it was a relief, but also kind of hilarious.
I got a couple of good ones. Lyndon Slewage singing the national anthem at the home opener. I think you could have gone with that, Ross. We would have liked that a little better than Walking. I think that was a big moment. Like, he hadn't been seen in years and years, and he was obviously major for the organization. He sang the anthem for years,
and he nailed it.
Pillsy, you had that on your list?
No, I didn't.
I was going to say, if you had that behind the Florida Panthers beating Ottawa 5-0 at home.
That wasn't the moment. Quit slandering.
Here's a really funny one, guys, that it was just something that, like, in my head, I'm like reflecting on the season, trying to think of all these moments. How about Mark Mathot showing up with the tablecloth suit in the intermission? You guys remember that? That was hilarious.
Picnic
like
table,
everybody, like, he went viral for that suit. So I thought that was just like a, best moments. We're talking best moments. That was funny as hell.
It wasn't the worst moment that he had on air. He had to put the Leafs jersey on that one game.
Yeah.
True. That could have qualified as well. Almost.
Seeing O-Dog in a Sens jersey was a good moment, though.
That
was kind of funny.
Pillsy, more?
Mine aren't really funny ones. It's more like big goals, I guess. Ross, we were at this game in Winnipeg. Brady Tkachuk scoring the game winner and then pointing to his grandpa saying, "That's for you." And then his grandpa being like, "Nope, pretty sure you did that for yourself, Brady."
Yeah.
That was all time, especially because, again, shameless plug, Brady Tkachuk was on our podcast, if you're not aware. And he told us about that and telling his grandpa, like, "Didn't you see me pointing at you? Like, I did a whole thing for you. Like, did you see that?" And just didn't really clue in. So that was funny. And then another Brady goal, scoring the OT winner versus the Islanders to get his 3rd career hat trick. That was a nice goal. But that's one of those where I was trying to think, like, do people remember that game? No. And that's where I'm trying to change my strategy with that.
I can't even think of that goal in my head. Like, I'm trying to picture that. I'm imagining like a breakaway where he slides a 5-hole because that's usually what he does. But I don't know.
No, it was a Pinto cross-ice pass.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Very good.
Yeah, I remember that.
I have one more. It was just Martian Palooza. I know it doesn't resonate with everybody, but I think for everybody who was there, that was
a blast.
Fantastic time. What a moment. So
that was awesome.
That was awesome. The only one else I had was me tweeting that the Sens are about to be the problem for the entire NHL.
I had that on my list as a moment, and you just blasted it out before. Because it wasn't not so much the tweet, but my thing was going to be the feeling Sens fans had after that game. Like, we all were like, this is going to be a sick season. Like, we got a 3-1 record. We just pounded the Caps 6-1. Like, things were looking up for Sens fans. 4th game.
That would have been such a funny thing for you to do with your last pick, Pillsy, is take Ross's tweet and turn it against him in the Ring of Honor. Come on.
I know. I should have done that.
I wish I thought of that.
That tweet has 71,000 views.
How many bookmarks? Yeah.
I'm surprised 9 bookmarks.
Yeah. No, that's at the time they were. And I did some quick math, 636 Central. That, in all likelihood, was Josh Norris scoring his 2nd goal of the game a minute into the 2nd period in his first game playing. Like, they had won the last 2 games without Norris, and then he came back and scored twice, and they were winning the whole game. It was just, to be young, to be in that moment again. Maybe, possibly.
I might have my finger on the trigger on the retweet of that game.
Ready to go. Yeah.
One of the, maybe, yeah.
Good.
Don't be afraid.
Time to be bookmarked. Yeah.
Be bold. Be bold. Martian, been a great time chatting with you. It's been too long since we've had you on. Postcast season just around the corner. And whenever you're ready for another Ring of Honor, whether you finish first or last, you know you're always welcome back. So appreciate you for doing this. Everyone's already following you on social media at Laleem's Martian. And Pilsy, any final thoughts from you?
This was a great Ring of Honor. It's great to get back into this. Like part of me when we do this, I'm like, oh man, I love doing this. It's so much fun. And then part of me is like, I hate these two idiots. Like, why don't they understand what I'm trying to do here? So it's a good mix.
Forgot how fun it is.
Yeah, it's a good mix.
So fun. I forgot how fun.
And I'm gonna try this year not to let the poll results affect my day-to-day mood and well-being. So we're gonna work on that.
Well, thank goodness, because last year, as you did, you earned some very consistent pity votes throughout the last 3 or 4, ultimately finally getting your first one.
Pity Pilsy. I'll take it.
People were waiting for the episode to come out so they knew which team Pilsy was so they could vote for it.
Exactly. Well, I'll have this out beforehand. We'll do team 1, 2, 3 because we wouldn't want any sort of public sway. Just vote for the 4 that you think total the greatest moments in Senators season that was. Also, go check out last year's. Pretty funny to go back and compare. So you can find that on YouTube, wherever you get your podcast. Ring of Honor, Locked On Senators, and there's actually its own playlist as well. So you can go find that. Until next time, and we can tee up Monday. We've got Kevin Radler from Sweden. He's actually training in Omaha. Awesome conversation. If you have or haven't seen his mic'd up segment in Dev Camp, he's a big personality, and we're excited to introduce you to him. And he's got a big season coming up as a freshman in a very tough conference. So fun conversation. Stay tuned for that next Monday. We'll get back to the Citizens on Wednesday, and then another Ring of Honor next Friday. For today, though, we say goodbye. For at Laleem's Martian, that's Brandon Pillar. I'm Ross Levitan. This has been another edition of the Locked On Senators podcast, your team every day.